fascinating about what you just said. So when I was watching that town hall last night, I thought the very thing that you expressed, and that is that not only co-opted but just taken.
Yeah.
And almost a question was hanging above my head: did Bernie miss his moment? And we've heard the president say as much. But in that moment, in those moments last night, I was thinking that it's like, that's what you're right. He wasn't talking about energy, but now he is, because that's part of this Green New Deal.
The other thing that's a really important, interesting development is that when he was running, particularly at the beginning of his campaign, 2015, there's a highly revealing interview with Vox that I always come back to when we talk about immigration, because the language that he used, Bernie Sanders used about immigration, was almost identical to Donald Trump's in terms of the impact of uncontrolled immigration and open borders on wages
Barack
and the
Obama
American
used
worker.
it as well.
And then during the course of the campaign, it became clear to him, you just can't get away with it.
I think the feeling...
In the modern Democratic Party, you've got to be for open borders, same as you've got to have religion on climate change.
I think the feeling is still very much there with people who share the president's populist view on certain economic issues, and that tends to be the more progressive. But Hillary Clinton, if you remember, she painted herself as a progressive, certainly toward the end of the nomination process for the Democrats, because Bernie had painted her so far left. And she was really trying to pitch herself as someone who had been a progressive since the 60s. Her campaign spent over $15 million on private jets, which is fine. I mean, in presidential politics, that's what you have to do to win. And she needed Bernie to win. She needed those supporters to close the chasm in the Democratic Party. And I don't understand where her team is coming from, other than the fact that she wants to get in the race. And if he's in, and obviously the president is in, and Joe Biden's thinking about getting in, and all these other people, Hillary wants in. She's got the worst FOMO ever, but the way she's going about it, and I'm glad his campaign spokespeople have hit back to say that these people are unlikable, they are a bunch of shrews, and they worked for the least likable politician in American history.
She's got a second book coming, Leslie. It's
By the way,
what's happening? What's happening? What is happening?
Can the Democrat on the couch weigh in?
Yeah, but just very quick, one important
Apparently
fact.
no.
A lot of those people, the nasty people, they're now working for Kamala Harris. That's the shift that's happening.
Wait a minute. Just like you've had people say, oh, David Cameron's people are nasty or whatever. And you're like, no, I know these people. Yeah, no, not you. Look, I don't think she's nasty. I don't think the people that work for her are nasty. What I do think is nasty as a Democrat is, are we going to learn from what happened in 2016? She's not running. Bernie is. It's a different field. To your point, yes, he pioneered $15 minimum wage. He pioneered Medicare for all. Every Democrat has taken it. It is now not just a Democratic talking point, part of the Democratic platform. And that's why, in a sense, he needs to play nice. And to the economic point, this is a man who talks about the economy, who talks about economic inequality, and has 3 homes and is very wealthy, and that bothers some Democrats. And with a bigger field, that's going to come up to bite him.
They're all hypocrites.
So Steve Hilton made a tremendous point there, in case we missed it. He's saying that this is not Hillary Clinton's people striking out at Bernie Sanders. This is Kamala Harris's people, who now work for Hillary Clinton, that are driving this, and they're hurting Bernie Sanders. And the point of this article was that he's a hypocrite. And as much as he sits there and he talks about the environment, or he talks about whatever, that he is out there and he's flying in the private jet, and he's also the mean guy on his front lawn yelling. Am I right?
I'm going to go with
what this is Kamala Harris.
They're all hypocrites.
Absolutely.
The establishment Clinton people, no, not all of them, but that's, you know, when you talk to people inside
Kamala Harris, hypocrite. Hillary Clinton,
they're going to
hypocrite.
her.
Liz Warren, hypocrite. Bernie Sanders, hypocrite. Cory Booker, hypocrite. They're all hypocrites. And those are just the Democrats. They're a bunch of Republican hypocrites, too. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I thought you meant, everybody.
Thank you. I thought you meant
all politicians.
No, but they all are. But here's the thing that, and I don't appreciate this from Hillary Clinton's team. Why wouldn't Bernie Sanders fight to win? Why wouldn't he go out there and go after her credibility and her character and her choices and her voting record and everything else? And she sits there so queenly, like, we can't believe that Bernard attacked us, because she uses the royal we.
But you have to remember.
Do you remember that Donald Trump had 16 people attacking him repeatedly on the same stage, and did he sit there and cry and say, it is so hard?
He was making up nicknames.
Making fun of my hands.
The difference is when Hillary Clinton had to pass the reign for the Democratic nomination of Barack Obama.
Listen to that.
The reign, R-E-I-G-N, not reign. When she lost the nomination to Barack Obama, one thing I have to say for her is she brought us together and said, look, peace peeps that were behind me, as I was one of them.
She didn't say peep. She wished she did.
Okay, I'm saying peeps. She said, I support Barack Obama. You need to support Barack Obama. They supported Barack Obama. They voted for Barack Obama, and he won.
That was about the foundation.
I was in the room.
Enriching the foundation.
I was in the room.
That's all that was a concentration of money and power so she could become president. That's it.
In 2016, I was in the room when Bernie Sanders sat there pouting like a child, and a lot of the Bernie or bust people stayed home and then were outraged after Trump won, and that contributed to it.
He got robbed. I mean, he should have won that nomination.
I don't care if you get robbed. The Republicans, one thing the Republicans do that Democrats need to learn from is they unite.
And we know that. We know
they don't
that
look very united right now.
Yeah,
I think that was
more
the point of
people hate
segment.
voting
They
in
aren't
2016.
united right now.
Right, exactly.
We are following President
Tuesday.
Trump. We are following President Trump as he's touching down in Vietnam for his second high-stakes summit with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, and an eye-opening new poll on how Americans believe that the U.S. is viewed on the world stage details and what it means as the president hopes to score a new win abroad. Plus, President Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, kicking off the first of 3 rounds of testimony on Capitol Hill. Amid reports, he'll accuse the president of breaking the law while in office as Republicans step up questions over Cohen's credibility. We will debate the impact of all of this.